Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Instacarhk. Today we are at Cyberport, being the starting point of today's parade organized by the HKAA to celebrate the 25th anniversary of Hong Kong's handover to China. Now this parade is promised to be a historical event because for the route, we're starting from here going all the way into Asia World Expo, first for a photo session. Afterwards is the highlight where for the first time ever, private cars and no less a car event is invited on to the Macau and Zhuhai Bridge to take a little tour, which is something I'm very excited about. Now the event is organized by the HKAA and sponsored by Tung Group, so all proceeds will go to charitable causes. Now both HKAA and Tung have been inviting many different car groups in the past few months, Classic Car Club of Hong Kong being one of them, which is why I'm here. So on my way here just now, I already saw a number of supercars, classic cars, etc. There are more than 100 cars for this parade, so it is guaranteed to be a spectacle. So without further ado, let's go check out what cars they have lined up for us today. So here we are at the Cyberport public car park, which is where the meeting point is. All the cars are first parking here. It's actually pretty well organized by AA, this event. All the cars first come into this car park on the third floor to gather. There was police escort around, and then we go sign up, and then we'll go out in groups. As said, there are about 100 something cars today, so we'll go in groups of I think 4 or 5 with 20 cars each group. So I am in my Indy today, which is very brave, I know, but we're representing Classic Car Club of Hong Kong, so I need to be in the proper classic car. If I don't get a heat stroke, I'll see you guys again. If I do, there probably won't be videos for a while. But anyway, let's see what other cars there are today. As mentioned, there are supercars in this parade. You have an Aventador here, a GT2 RS. Quite a number of comfortable cars as well, like this Bentley over here, wise choice, and so is this Bentley here by the former chairman of our club, SF90. Well, my personal favorite over here, a Lamborghini LP640. And then over here, there's the new M3. And my SLS over here, a two-tone one, black with silver doors. That's interesting. Another GT2 RS. Both GT2 RSs today are actually registered with number plates. Well, that's a rarity. Triumph Spitfire here. This is an early one, probably series 3, 2 or 3 with the knock-on wheels. I actually always like Triumph Spitfires. I think they're like a mini E-type. British car, but actually designed by an Italian, so it actually looks very good. We're here with a Beetle, our EC members, Morgan, there's the Alpha, some JDM. And over here there's a Celica GT, there's a Starlet, NSX NA2. I don't know if it's a real one or one with a kit, but cool. And the NSXR here. I've seen this one before, I've spotted this one before, I remember the plate. McLaren L600T. There's a Panther. Oh, wow, this must be one of the highlights for the shows, a Pagani Zonda. Many of you will recognize this. Not a hard car to recognize, especially with that private plate. Very nice, look at that. The details of the Zonda's interior never fails to impress. Very cool car. Look at this, my cup of tea. Aston Martin DB6. And then some modern ones here, 458, C63 Black Series, and now DRA. Here's a low-profile car, a normal GT2 997. These are always nice. As I said, very low profile. You have to know what you're looking at. G-classes as official cars. Very cool. Now, as mentioned, this is to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the handover. So there are Hong Kong and Chinese flags. Over on this side, there are more cars as well, starting with this DBS Superleggera, very eye-catching color. And then we have a Datsun here, somewhat retro modded, some big wheels. Really baller Rolls Royce here. Quite dirty actually, looks like it's well used, look at that. And right across this convertible Rolls Royce is a classic one. Quite good match here, white and white. With a Lamborghini SV over here. License plate backed. There's no more suitable license plate for a Murcielago SV, isn't it? Another SF90. The black one. The first time seeing the black one here. 964. This looks like a Jubilee edition with the wide body. Another 964, Lamborghini Urus. 997 Turbo. Lusso. I always think these are cool. You know, spending 4 or 5 million on a hatchback Ferrari, that's pretty class. And this is one of the highlights for me. It's a Jaguar Project 8. Extremely rare in Hong Kong, my first time seeing one, and this one has the Macau plates as well. Now you all know I'm a huge fan of Harry's garage, Harry McCarthy, he loves his. It was pretty cool to see one here. Ferrari F8 Tributo, Huracan, there's an Audi e-tron GT here, with the 991 Speedster, look at that. Pretty cool double bubble roof. Here, with a pretty decked out Mercedes-Benz S-Class W126, that's quite cool. Murcielago, the classic Mercedes. Another Corniche. This is a Jaguar E-Type. You can't have a proper classic car event without seeing an E-Type. This is a fixed head, early version, a Series 2. And I think that's pretty much it for now. There should be some more cars when the parade starts. But yeah, I'm going to go to the opening ceremony now and then get ready for the sauna, moving sauna that I'll be in the next 3 hours. I'll catch you then. After a long while, It's like 11 already. We're finally setting off because we're one of the last groups. There are a total of A, B, C, D, E, F 6 groups, and we're the 5th group to leave. So we're leaving Cyberport now, heading on to Pak Fu Lam Road to Western Tunnel and then Asia World Expo. You can see I've already changed my clothes in a rather undignified undershirt because, well, that's the other side of classic car ownership that you don't see because it's so hot. I mean, this car has aircon, but it doesn't really work, so just rely on the window and as little gear as possible. So yeah, we're gonna head down now and we're gonna film along the way. Okay, so we're about 10 minutes into the journey now. As expected, it's super hot, but the good thing is there aren't too many stops because there's police escort the whole way, so that's helpful. One thing, however, is because of the police escort and we're going in groups, they're going quite slowly, and heat, 30 plus degree heat plus the going slowly in a classic car, that's not that good. Luckily there weren't much going uphill because initially in Victoria Road we were going uphill and the car was already running a bit too hot, but luckily after that was all downhill and straight road. But even going through straight road, I have to drive with a bit of technique because of the slow speed. I have to kind of move out to the middle to get some air. See, it's really slow, so I have to kind of go into the middle to get some air into the engine, kind of like Formula 1 style when you're following a car in front. So that's the joy of the driving classic car. Of course, the modern cars like the Bentley at the front, the Mercedes and SF90 at the back have no such problem, and they have very good aircon as well. But other than that, the traffic has been good. Now not much stops, and as I said, not many upslopes, so the temperature is fine now. And we're just here to enjoy the day. Alright, after about 30-35 minutes, we finally got to our first stop, and only stop actually, for a photo session in the Asia World Expo. As you can see, we got a pretty good spot for my Indy. I opened the bonnet just to cool down, but the car actually performed okay. As I mentioned just now, in the early stages when it was a bit slow, I was a bit worried about the temperature, but it was actually okay. And once we got to Western Tunnel on the highway, the speed picked up and the car was totally fine. Even without the aircon, it was okay because the wind was coming in. So that was a good drive in. So now this is the last group of cars that is coming in. And I think that's it. I'll just take a quick walk around of what, where this is in the indoor, one of the halls of the Asia Expo. We've been through most of the cars already, so I don't know if there's anything new to show you guys, but nevertheless, I'll take a quick walk around so you guys can kind of get the atmosphere of what's it's like here. Quite a lot of people, but I'm so glad, they have this indoor hall for the photo session. Can you imagine if the photo session was to take place out in the 35-degree weather. Organization was very good. HKAA did a really good job with the meetup at the cyberport, and then with the separation of groups coming out. With the police escort really helped. It really didn't come through any bad traffic. I mean, it was slow at first, but at least no traffic, and it was green light the whole way. And now we're here, so yeah, it's all in all, I'm pretty impressed by the organization, by the HKAA for this. Ferrari F8. Now let's take a closer look at this Project 8. Really nice blue. This car is from Macau, as you can see. Personally, I would have probably chosen a different color wheel. As you guys may know, I'm not a fan of black wheels, but this is certainly a highlight for me today. And then walking through to the back. I saw one car break down just now, one classic car. We missed it on camera, but on the way, one classic car break down. And can you guys guess which one it is? Well, certainly, I'm glad it's not mine. But unfortunately, the one that broke down was the red flag, the classic red flag that broke down right at the entrance of Asia World Expo as well. So it nearly got here, but may have to give this a miss. All right, after this, we're going to head towards to the Macau Zhuhai Bridge later, which is the highlight of this parade, of course. So I'll catch you guys there. So after a much needed break in one of the halls in Asia World Expo, which has aircon, we're now ready to head towards to the Macau Zhuhai Bridge. And security and everything is quite serious. I think just this section alone, there's probably like 100 cops, because the Macau Zhuhai Bridge is actually a restricted area. So they had to check my ID cards just now. They have to even check my boot to make sure we're not bringing anything that's not permitted. And then there's this what they call 禁區紙, which is the paper for the restricted area, application for prohibited zone permit and closed road permit for the Hong Kong Zhuhai Macau Bridge. To go out. So it's serious stuff, but we're towards the end, last stage of our little journey. So I'm looking forward to see what driving on the Macau Zhuhai Bridge is like. So we have just gone around a bit of the Hong Kong Macau Zhuhai Bridge. I think we probably went about 7-8 kilometers out. We're not really right in the going all the way into the middle of the sea yet, but we have passed the airport towards the sea, and then there's this junction where we get to U-turn. So we're on the way back now, and then we'll just leave on our on our own without any further meeting points or escort. It's fun. It's despite the heat, it's a really fun and interesting experience driving onto the bridge. Huge thanks to the Tung Group and HKAA for having us for this drive. Huge thanks, honestly, to the police. A lot of police presence here today to help us open the roads, give us escorts and whatnot. And I think they've been doing a fantastic job. And finally, last but not least, huge thanks to my missus, who is actually the camera woman of today and who has also been suffering the heat with me. So if you enjoyed this episode, please give us a like, please subscribe, please remember to click the bell button next to the subscribe button so you know when our next episode is coming. Thank you and have a good day.